Welcome everyone. Today we will discuss about types of mixtures. Last time we discussed about definition of mixture. So mixture, it is constituted by two or more than two pure substances, and we also discussed a lot of different examples of mixture like salt solution, sugar solution, tea, coffee, lemonade, cold drink, even milk. So all these examples, they are mixtures. Now, why do we say that these are mixture? It is because in all these examples you will find that they have been formed when two or more than two substances they are mixed together, and then only we have got this resultant mixture. So in any of the mixture you will find this thing, that any mixture, it is constituted or it is formed by two or more than two pure substances, and that is why the name itself is saying it is mixture. Now mixture is also further divided into certain types, and that is what we are going to discuss today. So types of mixtures, depending upon the nature of the components that form a mixture, we can have different types of mixtures. So this you will easily understand with the help of activity 2.1. In this activity it is given that let us divide the class into groups A, B, C and D. Group A takes a beaker containing 50 ml of water and one spatula full of copper sulfate powder. Group B takes 50 ml of water and two spatula full of copper sulfate powder in a beaker. So copper sulfate, if you don't know, then copper sulfate is it is also a type of salt, but it is having a bright blue color, and it is a compound like sodium chloride is a compound, it's a salt. Same way copper sulfate, it is also a salt, although it is not an edible salt, but it also comes in the category of salt in chemistry, and its color is very bright blue. So what it is saying, that there are four groups A, B, C and D, and then group A and group B, they have taken 50 ml of water in a beaker, and then group A, they have mixed one spatula full of copper sulfate, whereas group B, they have mixed two spatula full of copper sulfate powder in the same volume of water. Now group C and D can take different amounts of copper sulfate and potassium permanganate or common salt. So about potassium permanganate and copper sulfate we also discussed in chapter 1, if you remember, or common salt, which is sodium chloride, and mix the given components to form a mixture. So what they have to do, there are four groups A, B, C and D, and then they have to take the different amount of copper sulfate in their, which they have to mix in the same volume of water, which is 50 ml, and then they have to report the observations on the uniformity in color and texture. So after dissolving copper sulfate in 50 ml of water, all these four groups, they have to report the observation, that what observation they have got after dissolving copper sulfate in the same volume of water, but the amount of copper sulfate is different. Now group A and B have obtained a mixture which has a uniform composition throughout. Now group A and B, group A has added one spatula of copper sulfate in 50 ml of water. Group B have added two spatula full of copper sulfate in same volume of water. So what is their observation? Their observation is that they have got the uniform composition throughout, and the color is also uniform throughout. Such mixtures are called homogeneous mixtures or solutions. Now here the very important term is homogeneous. Homogeneous mixture. So homogeneous mixture is a type of mixture. If you understand the meaning of homo, means same. So here why we are saying such type of solution as homogeneous mixture, it is because group A and group B, they have got a solution which is having same composition throughout, which is uniform in composition, which is uniform in texture and color. Some other examples of such mixtures are salt dissolved in water. Suppose if you want to do this at home, you can easily do this. What you have to take, you only have to take two glass of water. It should have same volume of water, and then in one glass you have to add 1 teaspoon of salt. In the other glass you have to add 2 teaspoon of salt. Instead of salt you can take sugar as well. Now when you will, what you will find that in, you have to just consider first of all one class individually. So you will find that each glasses, they are having uniform composition, but The intensity, if you will compare now, then the intensity of the salt or sugar whatever you have added, the taste is different. Definitely you will get the more taste of salt or sugar in that glass in which you have added 2 teaspoons. So this is what we are also going to compare. Some other examples of such mixtures are salt dissolved in water and sugar dissolved in water. Compare the color of the solutions of the two groups. Now group A and group B. So if we are just discussing about them separately, individually, so group A, what kind of observation they have got? They have got a uniform composition which is having uniform color and texture. Same way group B has also got the same observation which is having uniform color and texture. But when group A and group B we will compare, then we will find that because group B has added double the amount of copper sulfate in to make its solution, then the color of copper sulfate, which is a blue color, so the color of the solution which group B has got, it is much bright in color, it is much intense in color. So that is what it is given. Compare the color of the solutions of the two groups. Though both the groups have obtained copper sulfate solution, but the intensity of color of the solutions is different. This shows that a homogeneous mixture can have a variable composition. So what here it is saying? It is saying here that both the groups, group A will also call its solution to be copper sulfate solution and group B will also call its solution to be a copper sulfate solution. But we know that they both have added different amount of copper sulfate, and that is why there is, when we are comparing the solution of group A and group B, then there is a difference in the color. Group B, the color which group B has got, it is much more bright and intense as compared to the color which group A has got. So what it is saying that it is having the variable composition, and that is why we are saying it as a mixture. So mixture is not having any fixed composition, it is having, it can have variable composition, and that is why group A and group B, they both are calling their solution to be copper sulfate solution. As I have told you, you can also do or perform this activity. Instead of taking copper sulfate, you can take either salt, common salt which we are using at home, and sugar. Suppose if I am saying that if you have taken sugar, so in 2 glasses, if you have taken the same volume of water, but in one glass if you have added 1 teaspoon and the other glass you have added 2 teaspoon of sugar, then what you will find? You will find that first of all you will call both the glasses that they are sugar solution, both are sugar solution, and you will find that when you will compare that the glass in which you have added 2 teaspoon of sugar, it is having much more taste of the sugar because you have added double the amount of sugar. So what I am saying is here that they can have different composition, they can have variable composition, but the name which we are saying is the same, that both are the sugar solution and they both are mixture. Now they both are homogeneous mixture also. The reason is in both the glasses you will find that they are having same color, same composition, same texture throughout, and that is the reason sugar solution, salt solution, all these are said to be homogeneous mixture. Now group C and D have obtained mixtures which contain physically distinct part and have non-uniform composition. So group C and group D, they have obtained a mixture which is having physically distinct part. Physically distinct part means in that solution which group C and group B, in that mixture what they have got, you can easily understand or you can easily identify or distinguish that they are having some of the different parts. For example, if you are, one very good example and easy one to understand this, suppose if you are adding mud in water or if you are adding sand in water, then easily you will be able to understand that here are the sand particles. That is said to be, in that mixture you can easily say that these are the sand particles, and that is why here it is given physically distinct part, because physically we are able to identify, we are able to distinguish where are the sand particles or where are the mud particles. You can also form such type of mixture by using iron metal fillings. Now what are iron metal fillings? You might be just listening this term first time. Iron metal fillings, you can consider it as a very small pieces of iron nail. When the iron nails are very small in size, that is said to be iron metal fillings. So Here it is given also, such mixtures are called heterogeneous mixture. Now the meaning, why we are calling such mixtures to be heterogeneous, the meaning of hetero means different, as in such type of mixture we can easily distinguish different components, and that is why we are saying it as a heterogeneous mixture. So mixtures of sodium chloride and iron fillings. Now it doesn't necessary, it is not necessary at all that one of the component you have to take it as a water. No, it's not like that. You can even take mixture of sodium chloride and you can add sand in that. You can even add sugar and sand. You can even add sugar and iron nails, or sand and iron nails, sand and small pieces of stones. So these are all the heterogeneous mixture. The only thing which you have to understand in heterogeneous mixture is that when the mixture has formed, but still if you are able to identify the different components, then it is said to be heterogeneous mixture. Suppose if I am saying that if small stones, if the smallest pieces of stones, if it is mixed with sand, then you can easily pick out those uh, you can easily pick out those pieces of stones by your hand only. Same way, if you are having a mixture of sand and iron metal fillings, then you can easily separate sand and iron metal fillings also. That is, such type of mixture is said to be heterogeneous mixture. Now salt and sulfur and oil and water. Oil and water is also one of the very good example, because when you are simply adding or combining oil and water, then oil is forming a different layer and water is forming a different layer, and you will be easily able to tell that this layer is of oil and the other layer is that of water. Are examples of heterogeneous mixture. The other examples of heterogeneous mixture you will find that is of soil. Soil, in soil also you may see easily that it is having lot of different components. Some of the soil, it is having more sand into it, then mud is there, then sometimes some earthworms, or sometimes these worms, or even stone particles. So many things are also there in soil, and that is why it is said to be mixture, and it is said to be heterogeneous mixture, because in soil also we can easily see these particles which are physically distinct to us. So this is about activity 2.1. So today we have discussed one of the very important topic, that means types of mixture. And there are two types of mixture. One is homogeneous mixture and the other one is heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture means mixture which is formed but it is having same composition, same texture and color throughout. For example, salt solution or sugar solution, these are said to be homogeneous mixture. Then the other one is heterogeneous mixture. The term hetero means different. So in heterogeneous mixture, it is that type of mixture in which we can physically distinguish the components. It is having physically distinct parts. For example, sand in water, or the other examples are sand and iron filling, sand and stone pieces. Many different examples you may get in this. Oil and water, soil. So these are the examples of heterogeneous mixture. I will give you notes. I will provide you notes for this topic, and it will be, you will easily understand this, and you can easily understand this just by looking around yourself, and you will, if you will simply try to pick which one is homogeneous, which one is heterogeneous, then it will be easier for you to understand this topic as well. Although I will be providing you notes on all the topics. Thank you.